find it difficult reading the interactive map at a shopping centre? Well, if you do, then you're in good company. Today we'll be taking a closer look at some of the daily habits and social conventions that make up the monotony of life. Let's only eat fruit jam on planes and at hotel breakfasts. Grab your knitting needles and a blanket because it's time for three old friends to sit around and sew a new patch into their quilted friendship. So join me, Dion, under the covers with Christian.
Welcome to Patchwork.
And Josh.
Welcome to Patchwork.
Now, before we get started, we have, I think by the time this goes out, we'll be finished. We had the eBay auction for the elf slippers, the signed elf slippers, where we're giving away some tickets to the live show at the Comedy Fest.
And also donation to the ASRC as well.
Yes.
It went really well. We're very happy.
We guess it did.
I think it did.
More importantly than the ASRC, we're giving away 2 tickets to our upcoming live show at the Melbourne International Comedy Festival.
Now, the slippers, I have a slight issue with the signing of the slippers. So you guys were both here when you signed them, and then I received them.
Yes.
And when we talked about signing the slippers, I thought that meant signing the slippers.
Yep.
I received the slippers, and on one of them was a signature, and on the other was a printed name. Both of you, not consistent, opposite things, didn't know what was going on.
Hang on a second, Josh. There was a signature from both of us on one of the slippers and a printed name on the other one. They were opposite, sure, but they were printed at some point.
Yeah, well, I don't understand the printing. When you say a signed object, at no point is Matt Damon printing his name on his headshot.
I didn't understand the printing thing either, and that's because Christian just decided to print his name in big text, no signature, on one, and then sign the other, and I was like, well, I'm locked in here, aren't I? I have to do the same.
Why do people need our actual signatures? Don't they want to read the name?
It looked like a child had written it.
Okay, so let's just say in 10 years' time when they're looking at their elf slippers and they've got them on their feet, they want to read Christian, Dion and Josh, not our scribbles that are indecipherable versions of our names.
Christian, we are at your family home in Bulleen. When you walk around here, there are photos of probably 10, 15 photos of Christian with Gary Ablett, famous footballer. Would you have just liked him to write Gary Ablett in block letters?
Happily.
How does that work in a world, though? What do you...
Why do you want him to scribble?
Christian, how does that work in a world?
But the thing is, we've put both on there.
But they're not... Hang on. Going back to the block letters
so
thing.
weird.
They're not...
Why does Gary Ablett write his number after his signature?
But there's a reason for that, because it's on his back. The block letters aren't on your back.
No, but it's my name.
No, but wait, what? So
It's a signed object. It's not a written my name on the object.
I have both put my signature on there, which is basically indecipherable, and
But that's your
in
signature.
block letters, my name.
What do you think they are?
I think it was a terrible idea. I felt so coerced. And the other thing, Josh...
Coerced? You did, all I had to do was just say, I'll put your name in block letters, and he did it.
I know, it was so easy. But also the placement of the signatures. Like these slippers, they're 5-dimensional. You can put it underneath, you can put it on top. We've ruined the slippers. We've absolutely ruined the slippers. I completely get it. But the thing is that I've never been asked. I still haven't been asked for my signature. It's never happened before.
Yeah.
Why would someone ask us for our signature?
No. I'm just no one.
You've never
would,
had to sign something, right?
Nah, not something like to make like
a shirt or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
No. What about your grade 6 or your year 12 shirt? That was one.
Or a high school, in year 12
yeah,
kind
year 12.
of thing. Yeah.
Exactly what I just said, yeah.
Grade 6 or year 7?
I said year 12. What about your grade 6 or your year 12 shirt?
No, he said 6 or 7. He said 6 or
Don't
7.
look at me. I wasn't listening hard enough.
Do you remember that, of wearing the shirt for year 12 and like having to find a spot to sign?
Mm-hmm.
I remember that. Yeah.
That were great times.
Did you ever take prime position? Did you go, I'm going straight over the pec?
I don't have any memory of signing those things. And,
Oh, really?
And it is very surprising that you do.
Just block letters everywhere, is it? Idiot.
Just a giant C on one of his best mates. Did you sign the shirts down?
I did, and I reckon I've still got mine somewhere. I reckon
Yeah.
I've still got my shirt. Why? I don't even know that I've got it. Why do we keep those things? What's the purpose?
I can understand keeping that.
Why?
Of
I've been out of
anything.
school for 17 years.
Why are we asking people to bid on our elf slippers with our signatures on it?
We weren't. We originally were just going to sell the elf slippers for $5.
No, but like in terms of a memento from high school, the shirt with all the signatures of your friends and the people you may not have thought about for 20 years.
Oh, yeah, that's
like,
nice. That'd be a nice thing to
And
look
wouldn't
back
it
on.
be nice if they'd written their name in block letters? I'll tell you what I do remember about signing people's T-shirts in grade 6 and year 12 is how uncomfortable it is to write on a human body.
Yeah.
right, on fabric on a human body. That's not a pleasant surface because people don't arch their back right. They just assume that you can write on a vertical slant like a chalkboard.
Do you know what is comfortable on the human body? Lying on a human body. There is nothing more comfortable than putting your head down on a stomach or a leg.
Oh, yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's
No, you got to find the right
unbelievable.
nook though.
No, but it's almost all ergonomic.
You can find. I've got bony hips.
I've
and
got-
If you get
yeah.
on that, you're in trouble.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, stomach is great because more often than not, there's going to be some padding on a stomach.
So why aren't they making beds like in the shape of human bodies?
What do you mean? You mean pillows.
Beds?
I think
No, you want one of those
Beds.
little.
I'd love to sleep on someone.
I think my favorite surface to write on is a soft covered magazine.
And how's that to sleep on? A soft covered magazine because you got a bit of give.
Yeah, because it's like falling backwards onto clouds for your hands.
But are you concerned when you're writing on that magazine that you're gonna pull through you're gonna press too hard and it'll indent the magazine?
I'm fine with that. That's the purpose
Why?
of it.
Why? Because it's not your magazine.
Because all that matters is what goes on the piece of paper.
So you're putting the paper on top of the magazine.
Paper
right?
on top of magazine.
I completely agree with
Oh,
this.
it's so nice
It's
because
so
there's a good amount of compression of the page behind. You get some good fluency with your pen.
Have you ever gone straight from like wooden table to magazine?
Oh God!
You just go single sheet wooden table. Agony.
That's almost the worst feeling ever.
You'd never do it, would you?
Well, you know what happens is sometimes on some table or like those kind of, it's almost like micro dots, like it's a weird surface, and you try to draw straight, and your pen just goes between the divots.
It's shocking. That's why I always wrote with a pencil when I was younger. I never used pens. I was mechanical pencil boy. Have we discussed that before?
You're
I was
mechanical
pencil boy.
I always thought the people that used mechanical pencils, also known as pacers, were too cool. They were like the tech guys at school.
They were the ones that made a mess and needed to clean up. I wish my...
Nah, I'm with Christian on that.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
like
was
the
a step
gadget
above.
people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, maybe that was the gateway gadget.
Oh my God, a pacer.
Oh my God.
Because you got to like you would take it apart, add new lead.
Come to think of it,
Wow.
I used to buy... I found the pacer, and it was an architect's pacer. And it was amazing because the worst thing about pacers are the erasers because they're little erasers, and once they're and they're usually too hard. But I found one that had a twist top, and it sprung out the eraser, and God, that was a good time.
So specifically, it says it's an architect's pen.
Yeah, it was an architect's pen.
Oh,
it was great. I'll have to track it down.
Well, that is fantastic marketing.
I'll bring it to the live show. That's better marketing.
I am very curious to find out how you both go at a shopping centre using the interactive map.
Yeah, pretty good.
Because I think I'm very good at using it when the place I'm being directed to is on the same floor
Yes.
that I'm currently on.
Yes.
The moment that they introduce an additional dimension, the moment that the Z-axis is introduced, I am lost.
Yeah. I think one of the most confusing things is you type in the name of the shop and there's that start bit where it tells you are here. But that you are here thing, it rotates and you never know which way it's going to face. It's the luck of the draw. But Christian, I agree. Like once I get to 2 levels, I'm stuffed. But how relieving is it when it's the same level?
Oh my God.
And you're talking about specific because this is what I have trouble with when they're sitting next to each other. The 2 floor plans next to each other, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's the worst.
Shocking.
Because all of the sudden, not only do you have to follow the way to the escalator, but then you also now, because the layouts of both levels might be slightly different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you? There's no way.
Do you know what the confusing thing is? When you go up to one of these things, I'm trying to work out how have they installed this in the shopping centre so that it's orientated in the right way.
They definitely do that.
So they put it in, then they calibrate it, right? And they go, right, it's facing this way.
Yeah. This is the way you're facing, 100%.
So that line that's drawn, it's not a great line, is it? There's something wrong with that line.
Why?
I don't know. There's something. It's the color.
I
or
think
it's I don't know. There's
I
something.
think the biggest issue is that the space you have to traverse is so long, and when you look at it on the map, you go, oh, okay, so it's just down to the end, the next T junction. You go right.
That's it.
But that might be ages away.
That's the problem. You should have a photo of what you're looking at. So
Oh
if they want
my
you to face a
God.
direction, they should have a photo on the screen and then you look over and you match it with your eyes.
No, but
That's brilliant, Dion.
Street View. No.
That was Dion congratulating himself.
No, but what I do, right? So my strategy with this is instead of just remembering turns and points, I'll look for marquee stores. But like on the corner with National Geographic, that's where I need to turn.
But sometimes they don't give you
No.
marquee stores.
Wait.
But then you look what the number of the store is and you look up that store.
The stores
What?
never have numbers,
How long
do they?
you spend at the interactive map?
To be honest, I haven't used one for a very long time. It might have developed a lot the last 20
But
years.
maybe that's the problem, Christian. Maybe we're like, oh, it's convenient. It's an interactive map. We take one look at it and go. Maybe we need to spend more time at the interactive
Well,
map.
I spend a bit of time there because I look at it and I go, cool, I'm going to go here, then here, then here. I feel like I do a lot of planning, and the first step that I leave that thing, it's out the window.
It's amazing,
Hang on,
isn't it?
Because I feel like we're very, very different users. We're different use cases for the interactive map. I only use the interactive map when I'm going to a shopping center and I'm going to one store and one store only.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I type in that, go to it, and get out.
Yep.
Whereas you were saying you're planning your journey.
No, as in like to get to that store, if it's on the other side of the center, I'll be like, cool, so then to go right at the Myers and then I go up the escalators that's next to the Big W.
Can you do that in your head? Are you able to
Well, that's what I'm trying to work out. And then you get through it and you go, hang on, was it the first T-junction or the second one?
It's the worst.
And then it's just, and then I've forgotten and I'm like, do I trust my gut or do I go back to another map?
So you've forgotten. What's your next move? Oh, is it another map your only next move? Because there is the option of asking a shop attendant.
Oh, that's true.
How do you feel about that? And I feel like kiosk shop attendants, they get a lot more questions about directions.
Kiosk is easy.
A kiosk, right?
Yeah.
But wait,
Yeah.
you shouldn't ask a kiosk person where
Yeah,
the
you
directions
totally
are.
can.
But they don't want that. They want to sell their product, don't they?
Yeah, and then you pretend that you're interested.
No.
Getting some kids photography.
No, you got to find the help desk. You can't go to a kiosk and say, "Sorry, where's JB Hi-Fi?"
I mean, that's the last thing you can find when you're lost as a help desk.
No.
What a ridiculous suggestion.
No, but the framing of the question that you just gave then, Christian, that's not how you do it. If you said,
I'm really interested in these crystals you're selling.
No.
Where's JB Hi-Fi?
no, it's, is JB Hi-Fi this way? To be like, I know which way I'm going. I just want to confirm.
No, but still, it's not about how you frame. I appreciate that that's a better phrasing,
That's good.
but it's still something that's not related to their job. All of a sudden, they're engaging with someone thinking, prospective sale here. This guy looks like he loves crystals. This guy loves crystals.
Hey, what's on the kiosk shop? We got the cutting your keys.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, what else is there?
Mr. Minute.
Pet
Mr. Minute.
photography.
There's a Mr. Minute.
There's a Mr.
Do
Minute.
not-
There's a Mr. Minute. There's solar.
JB Hi-Fi's that away. There's, what was that, solar?
Yeah.
Solar. They're always trying to flog solar.
There's always someone selling either martial arts lessons,
Yeah.
Paintball.
paintball, or giving money to charity overseas.
Or, finger spinners or gadgets,
Fidget
little
spinners.
bullshit fidget
And
spinners.
also
Yes.
giving away a car.
Giving away a car.
Yep.
There's mobile phone repairs.
Oh, mobile phone.
Absolutely.
God.
Repairs, cases,
Yep.
dongles.
They've got it all.
They're hard to judge your mobile. Like, if you need your mobile phone repaired, you'd never go to one of those stores without looking up reviews,
But people
right?
must, right? Normal
Yeah.
people must
Yeah.
drop their phone in Chadstone and look around and go, phone repair,
Yes.
and walk over there.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's such a good chance of them doing a bad job, though.
There is, but so many, we're just not normal, right?
Yeah.
But they're also probably quite cheap.
That's true. The trade-off is there.
But just to get back to the map for a minute, I feel like that's my big issue. I feel I'm pretty good at reading maps, but the further it is, the more I lose confidence in what I think I've retained about the knowledge that I got at the map.
And the walk back is the scary part for me.
But you're not going back to the same interactive map, are you?
Oh, you
the
need to get
walk
out.
back. You
no,
mean back
as
to
in
your
I've been
car?
to the shop and then I go, cool.
shocking.
Now I have to do all of those directions in reverse.
You know what you should do is take a loaf of bread with you. Just leave a
good.
little bread trail
Oh,
as you
there's
go.
a little tip for you all.
But
Genius.
surely all the old men go and eat them. All the old men and their ducks. I think surely it has got to the point where they say, cool, you've added it to your, where do I want to go? Then they say, cool, we've sent it to your phone. And
reckon
it's
there'd
just
be
through a
AR stuff,
local
right?
Bluetooth thing. They send you a link, you open the link and it's like, this is your journey. And then it does Apple's Find.
But I remember years ago, Google said, we're going to do maps indoors and stuff. And I've tried it at shopping centres all over the world. I've never had luck with it. I've never had any luck. It's a disaster.
It's no good?
Yeah, but then again, using Google Maps on the road, I'm not taking turn-offs that I should anyway. So I'm lost. But
Surely
it's bloody annoying.
But the AR stuff is where it's at for indoors.
It's
If you
gotta
could just
be.
have your phone out and it's like, turn left here in the space you're in.
How do you feel about using AR though? It's
A fool. You feel like a fool.
you feel like a fool, but it's so good.
It
The
would be
street AR is amazing.
It would be cool if you didn't have to hold your phone up in front of your face to look around.
So you want a pair of glasses? You want some
Yeah,
AR
I want a
glasses?
Google Glass.
Would you get AR glasses?
Nah, no way.
No.
Nah.
No one would know.
What do you mean no one would know?
That would be... No, let's say that...
Not contact lenses.
I'm
They're coming.
saying, okay, let's say that there's the world that exists whereby you can wear a set of glasses, Google Glass style,
Yep.
and you have augmented reality. That's great.
If it looked like normal glasses, yeah, I'd do that.
Yeah.
Weird. There's always going to be... That's the problem with all this stuff. Weird stuff will spin off. You'll be able to... If you bump into someone you don't know, it'll say, this is this guy.
Wow, that's horrible, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
Cool.
not...
Can't remember that person's name.
That is the most useful use of it.
You literally sold it.
Dion phone's like, they tell you when you don't recognize someone.
Imagine with Google Glasses if you didn't get lost anywhere.
How great would it be if it gave you a note as well? Don't forget, just had a kid. Name of
Yeah.
child. Current age. Did not get them gift. Avoid. The thing that I always, when I'm driving into a shopping centre, always in my mind, I think I will not park near either a Maya or a David Jones.
Oh.
If I'm because parking's difficult, right? Because there's so many entries to a shopping centre.
Yeah.
I want to be where the bulk of stores are, where I'm going to get best bang for buck.
But that's where everyone else is parking.
No. Christian's saying what he wants. He wants deep. He wants to have a
Yes.
lot of density of different stores.
So I always try to find where the JB Hi-Fi is, and I'll park around that. I'll use that as my base camp.
But surely JB's not too dissimilar from a Maya.
Oh, it's very dissimilar.
From a one-floor Maya?
a one-floor
I'm
Maya.
saying if there's
when was the
one-
last time you saw a one-floor
No,
Maya?
but I'm saying a Maya of one floor is probably similar to a JB, right?
No way.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
Maya is
Maya's
like
huge,
half of
isn't
the
it?
shopping centre.
It's a dying brand.
But it's very annoying because you park.
the shopping
You park near a Maya, and then all of a sudden you're like, I'm here at the shopping centre, but you're not.
No.
Maya is literally your waiting room.
It's enormous. The thing that I do now, I've changed up my parking technique at shopping centres. I don't need... You know how you're always looking for that big shops arrow?
Yeah.
In the underground
Yeah,
car? You're
yeah.
always looking for that.
Yeah.
I don't need to be anywhere near that. I want to park in space.
I want to park as far away from other cars as possible.
Yep.
Next to a pole, so no one can park
I'm
next to
happy
me.
with
I hate people
It's
like
a
you.
50-metre walk.
I don't
It's not
know.
it's not a kilometre.
Can I say no? I'm fine with you. It's Josh. Josh,
I got a bone to pick.
why do you care so much about parking either next to a human being or a pole?
Because I don't want them to hit my car.
What person deliberately swings open their door?
And there's no deliberateness. It's a lack of thought.
How often do you think that is?
Why don't I mitigate that risk?
Will you pass up the opportunity at a spot in favor of looking more for a spot next to a pole?
Not depending how long I've been trying to find a park for.
Wait, has there been an incident? Was this saw a deadly spider when you were younger and now you're afraid of spiders? Was there an incident where you... Come on, let's go
came
back.
back and there was
we need the
Yeah.
dream sequence music, don't we?
I don't think I've ever had a door open on my car. I think it's a fear of it. I had a trolley smash my taillight at Safeway once.
There it is.
What's that got to do with where you park?
No,
if
it's
it was further away from anything else, the trolley wouldn't have hit it.
Why don't you just stay at home then, Josh?
Yeah, that would stop my car from getting dented.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I'll just leave it in my garage, lock it up, no dents.
Never leave your bed.
My human padded bed that Dion wants.
So I think that one of the most frustrating places that you can be at in a shopping centre is the food court.
Oh, yeah. Definitely is. Definitely is. Isn't that fried rice rubbish? Christian, this is bonus patch material. www.patreon.com/rocketopatchwork. If you want to listen to us talk about food courts and shitty fried rice.
I've got a lot to say. The Patreons are going to get their money's worth this week.
Oh, the food here is just delicious.
Delicious. Oh, delicious.
But the thing I most love about this restaurant is the fortune cookies.
Oh, I was going to say.
Yeah, they're very profound, these ones here. Look, I'll open this first one up. One
Might
Think
that
one
thought
is,
good
enough.
but
Is it? One might think that one thought is good enough, but is it?
Dion, do you want to open one?
this
Morning,
I,
visited
my
grandma.
and
thought
Wow.
you.
are old. This morning, I visited my grandma and thought, wow, you're old.
So that fortune is very profound.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
But there is a lot in that.
Absolutely. Christian?
Feel the
Heat
inside
Your
lower.
abdomen.
That's gotta be.
Feel the heat inside your lower abdomen.
Imagine opening it up and seeing that.
Okay, so you may have heard this before. We're going to play a little segment called Good at, Bad at. I'm good at toasting bread. I'm bad at buttering toast.
I have a point of contention, Dion.
Sure.
I don't think you're toasting the bread. I think the toaster's doing most of that work.
Ah, very good.
So you think you always come out on a good level?
I think so. I think I'm pretty good. I never I like to think I'd go over.
Here's a great question. Home ground advantage, or you put you in front of any toaster and you're nailing it?
Is a good question.
I mean, I haven't been in front of another toaster before, so I wouldn't know.
Oh, one toaster kind of guy. Hey, call me crazy.
Okay.
They're very variable, aren't they?
Okay,
Like, who knows?
I'm gonna set you a task right now. Ready? It's a 4-slice toaster.
Yep.
Okay, there's a small dial on it. It goes from 1 to 6.
Yep.
You have the slots. They fit maybe a half a full-size sourdough.
Yep.
All right, so it's not a big toaster, relatively small. You got from 1 to 6. What's your setting? And I'll give you the bread too. It's a panna di casa, sliced.
So that sounds a little bit. It sounds like a sour, but it's a little bit light. I'm going to go, and you said 1 to 6. I'm going to go with a 4 and a 4.2. I reckon.
Oh,
Okay.
he
4.2.
is good.
Do you find that you just every time you're loving it, and then but when it comes to the butter, what are you doing? What comes out when Dion hits the butter?
It's not. It's that I. Yeah, great start. I don't fully understand the point of butter.
Unbelievable. Wait a second. So let's start at the very basics here.
Yep.
You understand you know what butter tastes like? You know the flavor, right?
Yeah, I know the flavor. It's juxtaposed with my partner, who seriously understands butter. And actually, while I was thinking about this just before I left, I got her to explain. I sort of asked her, hey, you know, what do you think my relationship with butter is like? And have a listen. I got her to explain it. What do you think my relationship is with putting butter on bread or toast? Do you think I know what I'm doing?
I think there's a difference between people who love butter, who may, call themselves butter connoisseurs.
Yeah.
And people who think butter is just some bit of wetness you put on bread so it's palatable.
So
You think it's just a bit of wetness?
I feel compelled to put it on because, okay, I'm having a ham and cheese sandwich. Does that need butter?
As much as it pains me, I understand what you're saying, Dion.
No,
I get it because sometimes
on.
when there's a lot of things on it, you don't taste the butter.
Okay, wait a second. Let me just set a couple of simple scenarios for you. jam by itself on toast. No butter.
No idea.
Have you ever had it?
Seems crazy.
Yeah.
Why?
Because
butter.
guess what's missing? The butteriness.
Oh,
the creaminess, the mouthfeel, the
Okay.
luxurious flavour.
Okay.
That little bit of salt in it.
But is that because butter and jam, they're interacting with each other, whereas ham and cheese is just sitting
No,
on
it's
it?
all about butter is a portal. It's a vehicle. But mind you, take it from someone who hasn't had butter for a while
Yeah.
and now knows what it's like to not have it in their life.
Oh.
It is a enhancer of flavors.
Vegan alternative to
Wow.
butter? Is there one? None that are
just
good?
Fucking don't eat anything.
Yeah.
Is it Nuttalex?
No. There's Nuttalex. There's margarines. It's fine. They've got vegan cultured butter as well.
What's
There's the
margarine?
stuff.
What is like butter? I can kind of get my head around. What is margarine?
Just fat solids, really.
Just a bit of fat solids.
Vegetable
Bring out
fat,
the fat solids.
The other thing I don't get is hard butter. I don't understand that design.
Who's still buying it?
What? Hard butter?
Once we got soft, easy spread butter, hard butter blocks
What do you think?
out the window.
What do you think makes it soft and easy to spread?
Don't sell that.
What do you mean?
Don't sell the
Hang
hard one.
on. What is it? What makes it hard?
What makes anything live longer, softer, harder? It's just fucking chemicals and preservatives.
Hang on. So you're saying that there's less chemicals in it?
No, he's saying the block is the natural state. Is that what you're getting at?
You don't know that.
What do you mean?
That's some
what
bullshit.
do you think fat does when you make it cold?
I have no idea.
Is that it?
It goes hard, doesn't it?
Wait, so when I'm skiing,
So,
You can't spread you. Yes.
so with the butter, I think toast, very clear, always put butter on that. One thing I love, I'll tell you what's the best, fresh bread with just butter.
it's
Be it toasted or plain.
It's very good.
That's when I'm in love with butter.
Oh, yeah.
That's comfort. That's comfort food. But I just think butter, the hard butter, can't get away from it. I don't understand. As you said,
I don't buy it.
There's great alternatives. There's such good alternatives. Why are people struggling so much? And then what about the foil that it goes in? That's such a shitty receptacle.
What?
It's shocking.
The block of
the
butter?
aluminium foil.
yeah.
The
that's
block
not
of butter
good.
should be entirely retired.
Do you know what is good with the block butter though? Have you seen the measurements on the block butter? I
Yeah.
really like
For
that.
baking.
Oh yeah, baking. Keep
Yeah.
it for baking, guys. Hey guys, we'll keep it for baking.
That's right. For baking, it's great, right?
But
'Cause
that's, hang on, why are you buying block butter, like that alfoil block butter, if you're not using it for baking?
my
Are
partner,
you
partner- my
spread off that?
partner loves it.
Unless
Oh,
is
no,
it a
she-
specialty type?
Yeah,
like the one
she
with
lo-
that French man with the mustache?
No. She's
Sounds great that way.
but no, it's she just loves the taste. Unsalted butter, no salt, no salt.
Unsalted?
Unsalted. Yep. She's a Czech gal.
Here's the big one. Are you putting butter underneath your peanut butter?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Jesus.
I do, because I want extra butter flavour.
It's
Yes.
amazing you should say that. My friend Beck sent me a photo the other day going, hey, am I putting butter under this or not? I have no idea.
I don't think you need to.
Under peanut butter, it just makes it taste so much better.
Yeah.
It makes it taste. That's why now I put as a replacement olive oil and some salt. Crack some salt and pepper on top.
Yeah.
Maybe not some pepper. That's only when I've got tomato. But you just need that fat. You need that additional fat in there and salt.
Do you think that bread, like a bread or roll sandwich thing, does it look to me it feels
naked.
weird and it looks naked without butter on it?
Yes. Yep. Agreed.
Is that big butter? Have they done that to us?
No. It is that good.
Oh, hang on.
It's that good.
Christian, when you're getting a banh mi, the
Yes.
first question that's asked, would you, I think
Nothing.
Do you
yeah.
say no butter?
So the best is when I found some places that do the vegan pates underneath.
Ah.
And they put like a vegan butter. But yeah, no butter. But also, I don't actually think a banh mi needs butter. I think
That's
that,
one that I don't think you do.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Like I get it. Tastes good, but it's also good without.
I think one point about what your partner was saying with the wetness.
Yep.
I think if you have very dry ingredients,
Yep.
having the butter is very important because anytime you have like an overly dry sandwich, it sucks.
fair
Yes,
point. That's a
it
fair
is.
point.
And that is why I think people who scrape lightly on toast have got no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, right?
Toast is, again, a vehicle. And if you don't scrape enough substance on top, that vehicle is stuck in neutral. You need to put a lot of butter or a lot of spread to get it into a gear.
Christian, when you're buying a sourdough loaf, let's talk loaves for a second. What is I know you just buy the square shit, but Christian, what's your whole allowance in a sourdough loaf? What's permissible in terms of the amount of holes that you can have in that thing? Sometimes it's ridiculous.
Well,
sometimes you're cutting the sourdough in half.
You're buying a sourdough.
Put your fist through it.
You're buying a sourdough. It's what happens.
What happens?
Hey, babe, that's life.
But that is in the nature of cooking a sourdough.
You're at peace with sourdough right now. You're like, hey, sometimes that's what happens.
It is the gamble you take with a sourdough, and you go, well, I'm getting the flavour of that sourdough. I'll take the holes. But Dion, do I wish those holes were filled with more bread? Absolutely.
How are you approaching the holes with your butter spread?
That's another podcast.
The game-ending question.
That's another podcast.
I reckon we retire the podcast after that.
That is amazing.
You know
well
what?
Done.
Whenever it changes my tact for a spread. If I've got holes in my bread,
It's a hazard.
I've got to spread on a plate. I got to cap because then I'm also dunking.
Hang on.
My final bite.
Are you saying that you'll spread in hand?
What?
You said I have to spread on a plate.
Instead of spreading on top of like a chopping board.
Wait, what do you
okay.
spread on? You spread direct on a plate?
Plate or chopping
What are you
board,
doing?
yeah.
Christian, are you plating or?
It depends if there's holes in the bread.
Because I find what happens, it's like filling, it's like almost like you're patching up a wall.
Yes.
And you'll do the butter over and then you get a massive chunk in the hole and you're like, too much in the hole.
Imagine if you get that from Bunnings, a bread patcher upper. How good.
I'll tell you what's a good feeling is when you put the bread on, it's melted through, you go, fuck, it's gone through the hole, but then you put a little bit of that whatever else on top and it bridges the gap. It holds steady like a bridge.
That's good. What about, is the bread ever so holy that you decide this can't survive as one piece? I've got to cut this in two. Do you know? I mean, you guys are looking at me quite perplexed. You know what I'm talking about?
If the bread is that holy, I'm using it for dunking in dips. It's no longer toast.
Yeah, and dip's great.
But you can't pivot. You're not going to pivot your breakfast to dips.
No, but that's a great point. No, you don't. But you ignore those slices and you go, those slices are out there for dip.
Yep.
We're advancing through the loaf. We're skipping ahead.
Yep.
And we're going 3 or 4 slices ahead.
I'm imagining Dion cutting into a loaf of bread and it's deflating like a balloon.
Okay, introducing a new thing. That's a game. You've introduced me to a game-changing moment.
Skipping ahead.
We're going to call this game changers. Game changers.
Sure.
When my opinion is every 50 patches is changed. This is game changers.
We've changed the game.
Yeah, I will now. If you can tell me what to do with those fucking ends of loaves, that's more useful than throwing them in the bin. We'll change another game.
Hang on, why can't you eat the end of a loaf?
It's not great.
What?
The knob. It's called the knob. It's literally called the knob.
How is it you chose knob when butt of the bread has been universally used? You went knob.
Sorry, I didn't use butt. I used knob.
Amazing butt and knob, exactly the opposite, aren't
Your
they?
head was in the right place.
Really, really good. You know what's really, really good? Really, really good. You know what's really, really good?
I think by now, you know, we love hearing your really goods. And thank you so much to those listeners at the 11th hour that gave us these really goods. You are all wonderful, and you can join us for Really Good Friday every second week on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch.
And Twitch.
And Twitch. Do you know what little Ash thinks is really good? Driving straight out of a park because you took the time to reverse into the car space.
Oh,
really good.
Really good.
And you know what Johanna Rose Fulton thinks is really good? When it starts to rain, just after you bring the washing in.
Really good.
Really good.
And you know what Sammy Nix thinks is really good? Finishing a project and closing all the tabs.
Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Welcome to Patchwork. You know the drill. You know the stuff we're going to cover. We've got social media. We've got a live show. We're performing at the Melbourne International Comedy Festival at the beautiful Brunswick Ballroom, Saturday afternoon, 9th of April. Get your tickets. We're selling out pretty quick. Pretty quick. And as we do every week, we sew a new patch into our quilt of friendship. Josh, what patch did you sew into our quilt this week?
Thank you, Dion. My patch this week is Christian, opening a new store at a shopping centre called Bread, Butts and Beyond.
Jeez. That is good, Josh. That's very good, boy.
Christian,
Dear
what patch
me.
did you sew this week?
Thank you, Josh. This week, I sewed into my patch Dion, using an interactive map to find the section of his sourdough without holes. And Dion, what did you sew into your patch this week?
My patch this week is me walking into a mattress store and asking whether they stock any posturepedic abdomens. Thank you for listening to Welcome to Patchwork for another week. I've been Dion.
I've been Josh.
And I've been Christian.
Goodbye.
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 Oh, wow. A little alcoholic.
Yeah.
That's very good.